Alright, much Abrew time. Playing some Blackburn in Modern, and okay. I mean, we got our Redburn, also a Bob. See what we're up against, but this seems reasonable-ish. Forest for our opponent. And Nettle Sentinel, so Elves it is. Well, looks like we're going to be throwing bolts at Nettle Sentinels and such. 3 bolts isn't bad against Elves. Horizon Canopy. I think we take the hit for now and see if we can... You know what? We're going to kill it. Bloodstained Mire. Get a Blood Crypt. Untapped. And just bolt Nettle Sentinel. So I'm assuming this is Elves with the Vizier Druid combo in. There's Druid. So bolt Druid. Play the Swamp. Play Vampire Cutthroat. Pass the turn. Oh, well, we got a threat-ish. Losing the term loosely. Nettle Sentinel for our opponent. Cannot block the Cutthroat. And we do have another bolt in hand. Wouldn't mind drawing, like, Fatal Push. Opponent passes. Well, we play Bloodstained Mire. Crack it. Grab a Swamp. Run out our Dark Confidant. Get in with our Cutthroat and leave up our Lightning Bolt to keep anything horrible from happening. Skulking in for one. It's so weird that Skulk is actually kind of relevant in Modern. Although it's not necessarily that good against Elves. Opponent cracks a Windswept Heath. Heritage Druid. Alright, probably going to have to kill Heritage Druid with the next creature on the stack. Dwynnian's Elite, yep. So bolt Heritage Druid. We're staying alive-ish. Opponent's going wide. And we're running out of removal. We are going to get to see a lot of cards next turn, though. We can even just sign in Blood ourselves if we need to. Opponent passes. We get... There's Fatal Push. That's good. Well, get in with Vampire Cutthroat. Opponent blocks with the Elf. That's fine. Play a Swamp. Dark Confidant, part 2. Pass the turn. Leave up our Fatal Push. Opponent finds Pendelhaven. This does mean there are 2 Collected Company mana. But we're drawing lots of cards. Opponent passes. Alright, that certainly looks like Collected Company. Dark Confidant gives us... Dark Confidant. Bobs or us. Bump in the Night, Marsh Flats. Well, let's sign in Blood ourselves. Play Marsh Flats. Play... Oh boy. Another Dark Confidant. Oh, yep. Pass the turn. 3 Bob Monty. I don't know about this. I'm a... If we flip like 3 for like Phyrexian Obliterators, there's the Collected Company, as predicted. See what our opponent hits. Would be a nice time for a whiff. Devoted Druid. And another Dwynnian's Elite. Alright. Our biggest problem is we don't actually have a way to sweep the board. Elvish Mystic. Okay. Opponent only has 1 card in hand. Last card. Elvish Archdruid. Alright. This actually is okay in a weird way. Because we can just kill Archdruid and then kill a bunch of creatures. Attacks. So, crack Marsh Flats. Get a Swamp. Fatal Push. Elvish Archdruid. And block. I think we keep 1 Dark Confidant. Kill 2 creatures. Drop to 9. Be good to us, Bob. Collector Brutality's not bad. So 1, 2, Collector Brutality, 2 modes. Kill Druid, drain our opponent. Discard the Leech-ridden Swamp. Play the Swamp. And Phyrexian Obliterator to shut down any attacking. So probably the scariest thing our opponent can draw now is Collected Company. Elvish Mystic, not on the scary thing list. So our opponent can't even really attack very well. Or really at all, I don't think. Opponent passes. Alright, we get another Bob trigger. Well, let's Elves of the Vein, drain our opponent, bump in the night. Actually, no. Let's attack first. We don't want our opponent to know that flashing back bump in the night is lethal. Jeez. Jeez. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know how our opponent plans to win after this. Sure. I mean, opponent has to sack 4 permanents. And I think we just fatal push a Mystic. Yeah, opponent scoops it up. Yeah, well, that went well. Mono removal came through. Disfigure seems like an all-star in this matchup. Otherwise, I don't think Blood Moon's good enough. I think we can go down the Elves of the Vein and just try it like that. And, alright, I mean, just kill a bunch of stuff. Go from there. Opponent has Elvish Mystic. Well, Bloodstained Mire, crack it. Get our Blood Crypt, and we're just going to bolt the Mystic. Pass the turn. This is kind of shaping up like last game. We can Collective Brutality the next threat, Collective Brutality the next threat, and hopefully get Obliterator down on turn 4. Heritage Druid for our opponent. And another Heritage Druid. Well, play the Swamp. I think we're going to 2-mode in Duress. So, to get rid of like a Collected Company. So, Duress our opponent, kill a Heritage Druid. And we'll just discard a Goblin Guide. Oh, they have both. Well, definitely taking Collected Company. Pass the turn. Well, our opponent doesn't have that much happening. They probably Dwinian's Elite. And then we can Collective Brutality do the same thing. And our opponent's basically just out of cards. And we get to Obliterator, ideally. There's a Dwinian's Elite. What did our opponent draw? Oh, Kitchen Finks. Alright. That's fine. Well, we do want to draw... Well, Lightning Bolt's not bad. So play Marsh Flats. Crack it. Get a Swamp. Collective Brutality, 2 modes. Kill a creature. Duress our opponent. Discard Cutthroat. Get rid of the Collected Company. Opponent's empty-handed, so we just need a land. A land for Obliterator, and we should be in really good shape. We can bolt something. I don't know if it's worth it. It might be. I think we have to. Bolt Dwinian's Elite. Land? Bump in the Night. Not a land. Well, Bump in the Night our opponent. Pass the turn. Yikes. If we don't draw land, we're in trouble, actually. Opponent's going to draw a card. Plays another Horizon Canopy. They drew Elvish Visionary. Draws another card. Well, we got to get down this Obliterator this turn, I think, or we're going to die. We dropped to 6. Land? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So close. But so far. Opponent gets a land. Untapped. Oh, did they draw a Coco? Oh, Lord. Azuri. Yeah, that's deadly. Yeah, I think that means we're out of outs. Because we dropped to 3. Yeah, even if we get Obliterator down, we're still just dead on board. And it's not anything. Whew! Well, that seemed like it was working, but we couldn't finish things off because we didn't get the land for Obliterator. Alright, well, we play first. And, okay, I mean, we can try this. We get to bolt something, untap Bob. Hopefully Bob makes sure we keep hitting our land drops, and if our opponent paths it, that gets us land drops, so. Marsh Flats, go. Opponent has a Forest. And Heritage Druid. Well, crack this. Blood Crypt, untapped. Bolt, Heritage Druid. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's a lot of Obliterators. A little clunky. Opponent has Llanowar Elves. Ooh, that's good news. Come on, lands. Well, Collective Brutality, 2 modes. Duress our opponent. Kill Llanowar Elves. Discard one of our million obliterators. Take Collected Company. Get in with our Dark Confidant. Opponent's hand is not great. Nettle Sentinels. They do have a Heritage Druid, but we can kill it. There's Heritage Druid. Come on, lands! Lands, lands, lands. No land. Well, instant replay. 2-mode, Collective Brutality. Duress our opponent, kill Heritage Druid. We might just be burying our opponent underneath this Dark Confidant. Get rid of the Cord. Get in with the Dark Confidant. Pass the turn. Opponent finds a second land. Plays Nettle Sentinel. And draws another Heritage Druid. Well, come on, Bob. That's not bad. So we get to disfigure Heritage Druid. Fatal Push Nettle Sentinel. Play Marsh Flats. Come on, Bob. Going all the way. Hit our opponent down to 13. Opponent has Duskwatch Recruiter. Hopefully we draw removal for that. Crack Marsh Flats. Grab a Smoldering Marsh. Bob gives us Cutthroat. Well, let's attack with Bob. If our opponent wants to trade, that's fine. We can play another one. They do trade. That works. So, play another Bob. Play Swamp. Play Vampire Cutthroat. Pass the turn. Could have played Obliterator there, but I'd rather just keep drawing removal spells, ideally. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. And Azuri. Azuri can be problematic. Bob gives us Lightning Bolt. And Disfigure works. Disfigure Azuri. Jeez, we've drawn so much removal. I guess it's kind of working out that we haven't drawn hardly any lands. Hit our opponent. Back up to 10, and I think we just have our opponent dead on board. That was a massacre. Dark Confidant is quite the magic card. Nettle Sentinel. And Dwinian's Elite. Opponent drops to 4. So they're not dead on board. But we still have Obliterator in hand. Opponent passes. Dark Confidant. Oh, that works. Collective Brutality. 2 modes. Kill the 1/1. Drain our opponent. And this forces our opponent to block Charles Messenger with something that kills it. And it comes back in. Hits our opponent for 2. Jeez. Well, endless removal with Dark Confidant is a recipe for success. I think we drew 7 extra cards that game. Whew! Well, Black Burn, that was impressive. We kind of played like a control deck or tempo deck, but that was still pretty impressive. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, take a second and click that like button down below. It's a great way to help support the channel for free. And you can find the next video in the playlist right here.